Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we are discussing the Sonic movie. I have been waiting a long time for this movie, way longer than you would have thought. This movie was originally hinted, teased, revealed, sort of, back in 2014 actually, way longer ago than you actually would have thought. And, you know, it was backed by Sony, they were doing it. And eventually they put it in turnaround and gave the rights to Paramount, and that's who actually made the movie. Now, as we all know, 2018, 2019 early, we got the very first trailer for the movie, and it was horrible. Just gonna say it, I didn't hate it as much as other people, but I certainly did not like it. It looked gross. It was way too detailed. Sonic himself just looked unnatural, and he wasn't moving. He felt stiff, like they made Sonic's design but put a human anatomy to it, which, just no, nobody liked it. Lots of people liked it less than me, which really says something. But, you know, everything, I don't know if it was a Paramount executive or it was somebody else, on the team, but as far as I can hear, Jeff Fowler, the director, didn't want to do the man-hog Sonic, which is what I call it, at least. So, yeah, when we all went out and said, this sucks, this is horrible, Jeff Fowler basically came out and said, okay, we got it. We're gonna go back, we're gonna fix this, and we're gonna delay the movie, and we'll give you an update in a few months. And then we got the update, and it looks so good. This is my favorite Sonic. To me, this is the Sonic. Okay, Ben Schwartz, amazing Sonic actor. It really fits the design. He's short, he's the perfect mix of the postmodern and classic design into one. It's great, and he has so much expression and just movement all of the time, so much energy. And if you were gonna translate Sonic to the big screen, that is the way you do it. Just wow. It's so good. So that was only from the first trailer. I was so pleased with what they did. Then, you know, the months passed. We saw Baby Sonic for the first time. I was questioning why, but he didn't show up much in the movie. Oh yeah, by the way, spoilers. He didn't show up much in the movie, so that was good. You didn't really need him to be in there. Most people assumed that Paramount was cashing in on the Baby Sonic, or the baby trend itself. I don't believe that's true exactly. I think that they more had this as a lore idea in mind, and then the baby stuff just happened by coincidence, and then Baby Sonic got lumped in there because it was revealed about the time that Baby Yoda came out, and then Baby Nut, which that was kind of the final nail in the coffin. Though I don't even think that Planters is using Baby Nut as their mascot, which is good. Back on topic, by the way. Yes. So my official score for this movie is an 8.5 out of 10. I would have given it a 9. Would it have not been for one or two little minor offenses, plus one CGI issue, which we will get into later. But first, we gotta talk about Jim Carrey as Robotnik. Dang it, this is the best Robotnik we've had. I'm sorry, Mike Pollock, you've just been outdone. I mean, this whole movie, you see the slow transition from just an egotistical maniac to Ace Ventura Jim Carrey by the end. It's so great. And he has some very quotable lines, some of which actually have already become memes, which, I mean, you know your movie's pretty quotable when something like that becomes a meme. And yeah, it's like one of them was confidence, a fool's substitute for intelligence. That fits the character so well, and by the time we get to the end of the movie and Jim Carrey Robotnik is stuck on the mushroom planet, very weird. The lore of this universe is very different from what it has been in the past, but it seems like Mushroom Hill. I've seen people call it Mushroom Hill, the Mushroom Planet. He's on there, he's bald. I don't exactly know how he got bald. It's also a bit strange, but he did. And he is just gone full insane. He's like, a common man would have lost his sanity by now. And then he proceeds to be throwing a rock around, screaming reconnaissance for like 2 full minutes, and it's just great. So yeah, that just Jim Carrey the whole movie, amazing. The music though, beautiful, beautiful score. All the songs they chose, they had Queen in there. They had Don't Stop Me Now in the turtle scene. That was really nice. And just the music throughout, everything, all the songs that came with Robotnik, all the songs they had in the scenes, just beautiful choice. Nice, very, very good. And yeah, let's think. So, Green Hills, the town, it's in Montana. And I actually realized that this is a reference to the Sonic Bible, an internal Sega document in which they have an early version of the Sonic lore where Sonic was born in a town in Montana. I didn't pick up on this until I watched the movie and I went, oh, hey, that's pretty cool. So, you know, that was a very nice, subtle piece of lore that not many people are going to get. And let's actually talk about Sonic's homeworld, which doesn't have a name. He only really talked about it as if it was that one island, Green Hill, or whatever it's called. We don't really know. South Island, probably. It was very strange, because on this interstellar map, so, okay, let's get into the beginning of the movie now. So, at the beginning, we basically start in the middle of the third act when Robotnik is chasing Sonic, and then Sonic, like, stops the movie and goes, you're probably wondering how I got here. And then we back it up all the way to, like, his birth, basically, or almost his birth, back when he was still in Green Hill. And so he was basically being raised by Longclaw the Owl, which is kind of like this mentor figure, almost like, you know, the Oracle from Sonic Underground. That's who it would be the most like. So you get Longclaw in there, and she's always telling Sonic, like, don't go outside, don't use your powers, they want to steal it, and they is actually Echidnas. I was wondering about this for the entire time that Sonic kept saying, on my homeworld, people were always after my powers, and I was like, well, what does that mean? I guess it was Echidnas the whole time, tribal hunter Echidnas. In any fashion, no Knuckles to be seen, which is probably good. You wouldn't put Knuckles in the first movie, but they are tribal Echidnas, so does that bring up the fact that maybe time works differently, so by the time that Sonic goes back, because it's been like, was it like 10 years since he came to Earth by the time most of the movie happened, and you know, so there is a possibility that time could work differently, and the tribal Echidna civilization fell, had a sort of perfect chaos incident of their own, and Knuckles is the only last surviving one. And, you know, that's pretty interesting, but basically Longclaw has this interstellar map which shows where Green Hill is, and the Mushroom Planet, and Earth. So basically, Green Hill is on the other side of the universe from Earth, and the Mushroom Planet is somewhere in between, I think. And it's an interesting take, but, you know, it's really odd, because they didn't explain it too well. I don't think they needed to, that's more sequel stuff. But yeah, so that was that. And then Tom Wachowski, actually. He is a pretty good character. I wouldn't say he's great, and yeah, he's just kind of a standard human, going along with Sonic on everything. they kind of form a quote-unquote bond, but how the CGI is done, it's not as believable as it possibly could have been. We'll get into that in a second. And yeah, so James Marsden does a fine job. It's not the greatest role, and yeah, so my actual favorite human role, other than Robotnik, was actually the new police chief in Green Hills, the town, after Tom left, kind of, to go to San Francisco, and he goes in there, and then Sonic basically causes the power outage, and the police chief's the new police chief's just like, he just calls Tom, and he's like, Tom, what do I do? I don't know how to do this. This is my first day. Help me. And so that's just kind of a good moment. And then he comes back later on when Robotnik and Agent Stone and some FBI people come in to the police room, or police building, I think, a police station, and kind of force him to call Tom and talk to Tom. Yeah, it's pretty good. So that's basically all the human aspects. There are some other minor characters. Tom's wife, Maddie, pretty good. She has like 10 minutes of screen time combined, maybe a little less. There is also Maddie's sister, who wants to make her divorce Tom. She's such a minor character. It's just really weird. And then Maddie's sister also has like one, maybe 3 kids, I can't remember, and they are actually, or one of them actually is who gives Sonic his shoes, his good shoes. We do see Sonic's feet, unfortunately. They weren't as bad as I was thinking they would be. I didn't realize we were gonna see them, and when I did, I was just like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into very long detail about that. Nobody wants to hear about that. But okay, so we've talked about all the characters, general consensus of the plot. Let's talk about the negatives. So the things that brought it down from a 9 or a 9.5 to an 8.5 for me. 1, Sonic flosses twice during the movie. Why? This didn't need to be there. There is a version of the movie where this at least only happened once that they used in the first trailer, but for some reason, they didn't use that. It was fine in the trailer. So yeah, he did it twice, and it just really, why? That dance has been dead for so long now. They really didn't need to put it in here. But, you know, that's just kind of the smaller gripe. But the real big one is how the CGI was done. Now, I don't think the people who did the CGI were exactly experienced, or really experienced, in doing the CG very well. So what we got was Sonic almost felt like he wasn't there sometimes. Tom actually did, or James Marsden actually did a really good job at interacting with Sonic, even though they never really touched at all, except when they did a high five in one scene. But again, that's one scene. When there was supposed to be the heartfelt goodbye, there wasn't even like a hug or anything. Tom just kind of kneeled down, looked at Sonic while they said their goodbyes, and then, you know, that was, it's just, I would have hoped that they had put a little more effort into making Sonic himself interact with the environment and the world more than he did. But one glaring part that stood out really badly was when Tom and Sonic were in the car. Sonic runs off to the Rubber Ball Festival, or the largest rubber ball band. He comes back and he has all the rubber band balls in his arms. And if you watch how they move in the scene, they look really bad and they really feel out of place. Like, they could have made, I felt like all the balls moved as one mass instead of each ball moving kind of the same or different. You know, it was it wasn't a deal breaker, but it sure was a glaring issue. But all the times that Sonic was interacting with other CGI objects, it was really good. So I think for a sequel, we probably don't want to see as much human stuff. I mean, Tom can still be in it, but more as a minor character because, of course, of the end credits scene, Tails. So if there's a sequel, of course, Tails is going to Earth to find Sonic. So that raises the question, like, was he sent by Longclaw? We don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. The Sonic movie seems to be making good money so far. That's good. On its opening weekend, it got 1/4 of its budget back, and for a family movie, I've been told that it usually makes its money over a longer period of time, so we'll just have to wait and see. If it can make back the money and more, then hopefully we will get a sequel, which will hopefully be more CGI, because Sonic and Tails will definitely be able to interact more than what Sonic and Tom can when they're not exactly there together. Because as I was watching interviews, Ben Schwartz was saying he just kind of was... He was really disconnected from the rest of the cast. He came in for one day to see how they were doing, but yeah, not too much else. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Overall, I think the movie was a really good. It is one of the best video game movies of all time, I think. There is, at least I'm seeing scores that rank it just higher than Detective Pikachu. I liked it way better than Detective Pikachu, and it was just, yeah, I've been waiting so long for this, and I got what I asked for. Just, yes. Tyson Hess, thank you for helping redesign Sonic. And thank you to all the people at Paramount for actually listening to the fans and completely redoing Sonic. There is not really... It wouldn't have been surprising if they just went along with the movie, but the fact that they actually went and redid the whole thing, that just speaks so much to me to show, yeah, they really cared. Or they thought the movie wasn't gonna make money if they didn't change it. But, you know, either way, I'm glad they fixed it. Tails himself actually looked really good. The voice actor, whoever it was, they had like one line of dialogue. I didn't get a good feel for him, so couldn't really say if it's a good Tails actor. I'm sure they'll be fine in a sequel, possibly. Yeah, it's a great movie. So yeah, thank you for watching this rambling review. First impressions, not first impressions. Full spoiler review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2020. And goodbye.